All right, what's up, guys? Welcome in to episode 168 of the Always Race Day podcast. I'm Connor Ferguson. We'll bring our two guys in here in a second. First, I want to give a huge shout out to the Karl Auto Group. They were on a NASCAR truck on Friday in what ended up being a big wreck fest of a race. But this will mainly be Daytona 500 talk. But shout out again to the Karl Auto Group, our presenting sponsor today. And welcome to the show, Caleb and Josh. We were originally going to just let me go solo on this, but they decided that it's okay. We'll stay up and we'll be team players and employees of the month, front runners.
Darn right.
Whoever kisses my ass the most between you two wins it. So keep that in mind.
Logistically, I'm the one that's more likely to do that.
Yeah, on a technicality, you're absolutely right. So William Byron gets his first career Daytona 500 win. By it sounds like inches against Alex Bowman. I've been watching the Iowa State men's basketball game against Houston, so I haven't seen all of post race of what I probably should have. But I've been keeping track of everything. I didn't, I guess, investigate the photo that was posted, but I did share it on Always Race Day. So
listen, people are making a big deal out of it. People are trying to bring in the conspiracies. People are trying to pretend like there was something that there wasn't. William Byron won the race. It wasn't that hard to figure out. William Byron won the race. What you have to remember is they go off of when they push the button. They don't go off of when the lights come on. They go off of the button push. Because once they push the button, the light is green. When they push the button, the light goes off and then turns yellow. So you're pushing the button, it's going all the way to the lights go off and then come back on. They go off of the push of the button. It's been brought up before, and clearly Byron was the winner. So if you're disagreeing with that or you think it's some weird conspiracy, get over it.
Yeah, go to the Always Race Day Twitter. There is a video showing NASCAR's call. They posted it themselves, which is fantastic PR move by NASCAR. It's 2024. The only thing you can do is defend your calls, and that's not going to get you any bad PR. It's really good PR in my opinion. So there is like one view of Bowman's in-car camera going around, and you see the yellow light come on, and it's like, well, he's in front of Byron, but you can't even see Byron's car in the shot. Like they were neck and neck. So Byron got it. Bowman said after the race that he thought Byron had it. So, but nonetheless, William Byron obviously broke out last season, 6 wins, a bunch of top fives. Can't remember the number on the dot. 21 top tens though. Shout out to Noah Nilsson. He would have known that right off the top of his head. But William Byron's, he started out iRacing. Like his career is fascinating to me. And now he's got a Daytona 500 win in the iconic 24 car that it's inching closer and closer to being good paint schemes again. But yeah, Byron gets it done. I don't know. How does this affect LeBron's legacy, Caleb?
Don't start asking me about basketball.
He doesn't understand that video or that meme.
It's just a basketball reference. You're good. No, I thought it was a fantastic race. I'll do my rant now. We'll knock that out of the way. We have got to change the next flag ends the race once the white comes out rule. Every single time, and specifically in Daytona 500s, every single time that rule is called, no matter how well they explain it on the broadcast or not, I have people text me asking, what in the hell just happened? How's the race over? And it's agonizing because the casual fan is confused by the finish of a race and it came down to the final inches for sure, but it didn't finish under green. And I think especially a crown jewel race, especially a big race, I think it always deserves to finish under green. That's, one of the things that I love about dirt racing. Not to compare the two. I'll get to that gripe in a little bit with social media tonight. But yeah, I think races should end under green. That's just my opinion.
So you're a firm believer in the good old Tony Stewart philosophy. We didn't wreck enough cars today. I think we should rack them up and do it again.
Well, you wreck.
I'm smiling because I knew this was coming.
I
was going to sit back and watch it.
If you wreck 29 cars, what's a 30th?
About $700,000. That's what.
That's great. They came to win a Daytona 500. Go make them earn it.
Or go broke trying and maybe die.
Why you got to do that? There's a lot of wrecks this weekend, 0 deaths. Racing's a dangerous sport. There's always a risk. That should be remembered.
Yeah,
cars
but
are safer and safer.
I'd much rather take my chances at Bristol than at Daytona.
But would you rather have, whatever percentage of casual fans tune in that want to see the race finish under green and turn it off and go, well, I didn't even understand the finish, so I'm not going to
pull it up off of 2 in the Xfinity race and let them race back.
Okay, here's what I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, the race back thing is just as dangerous.
I don't want to like make fun of anybody, but like if you don't understand the race, they literally explain it every single time we have an overtime finish. They literally say it and have the little placard in the corner that specifies how that works.
So like, just in case you can't hear, but read.
They explain it every single.
I'm telling you that has no impact on people asking me what the hell happened at the finish. Also, they ran 497.5 miles. And no, the caution laps earlier in the race absolutely do not count against scheduled distance.
What's your?
But once the race ends at that moment, you're saying that caution lap going around doesn't matter.
What's your beef then with them running less than the scheduled distance?
You should run the scheduled distance.
But you're okay with them. You're okay with them running, 30 miles over the scheduled distance. So now, where's the line?
So the devil's advocate to that, because I won't just go one side, is that you fuel strategize.
Statement was the devil's advocate.
Yeah, well,
I'm coming at you.
Don't compare finishing the race under green to Satanism, Caleb. All right, let's stop that right now. Okay, we're getting a little too hot and heavy on here. There's always going to be that fuel strategy deal where, hey, you're going to try to cut it as close as you can, but in that, you have to strategize and prepare for the finish. I'd be fine if they, after the scheduled distance, every restart is a one-lap shootout and every caution brings out the red. I don't know what that does to fuel pickup when you start and restart a car or what. That's just my dumb person solution to it. That
sounds miserable as a fan. That sounds miserable.
Indy 500 does it now.
Get a green flag finish. The Indy 500 goes an extra mile to get a green flag finish. And it always kicks ass.
The difference is, though, the Indy 500 is once a year. We're going to start doing this.
So is the Daytona 500.
6 times a year. Yeah, but it happens every super speedway. So we're going to sit and do it every other week now.
What do you mean every other week?
That's about when we have super speedways at this point.
There's 6 out of the 36 races, and that doesn't count the All-Star race or the off weeks. So if you want to do weeks, that's 6 out of 38. And then you can add the Clash in there, and that's 6 out of 39. And then Super Bowl Sunday, if you want to add another weekend, that's 6 out of 40. And then the off season is 12 weekends, so it's 6 out of 52. Look at that math. Yours not adding up there.
I mean, if
yours is adding up, but I don't think I'm following.
I was just trying to pile on, honestly.
Listen, here's what I will say. We survived the second and third running of the Daytona 24 this year, and we got through it, and I will give kudos to NASCAR for getting all the races in. We are 5 for 5 in races getting pushed because of weather so far this year. And
the truck race started on time.
No, it did. It was delayed just a little bit, and they had a red flag for rain. So,
okay, no, that's fair.
And if you really want to count it, since we're going Connor math, the Xfinity race was technically delayed twice because of rain.
So sat on the pole longer than anyone else. So at least your pick got that. Who picked Hill? Right. Someone picked Hill, right? For the Xfinity race?
I don't know. Hindsight, I probably just should have.
Yeah.
That's the move going forward now. So, but yeah. So kudos to them for doing that. And kudos to NASCAR for having a better super speedway race than they have the past couple years. And
yeah, I was really entertained by the second stage going into the third, how long they went. Just fantastic racing, slicing and dicing, in that large pack. And, to some people it might be like, okay, well, let's get to the end. Let's get to the end. But a lot of those moves, you're just sitting there like, oh man, they almost wrecked, and they got through it and got through it rather cleanly. All things considered, I was pretty shocked at the first yellow, but I thought it was a really entertaining race overall if you tuned in for longer than 10 minutes at the end. I left him speechless with that hot take, I guess. Whoops. No, but what do you guys think of? I jinxed the crap out of the broadcast. I still thought it was better than last year's, but about 72.
It was definitely better. There was less rage-inducing parts of it this year. That the one that absolutely
There's
got
a couple
me,
of cutaways that were still really puzzling.
the one that it wasn't even that big of a deal, but it was just like oh my goodness, was when they did Crank It Up
On pit road.
during the yellow flag as they're on pit road. That's the least exciting thing I've ever seen. Like, if you're trying to get like a new race fan to watch and really get into the experience, like, what a way to not do it.
I think they should bring the digger cam back with the new locations of the cameras.
Yeah, I mean,
I just want that adorable little gopher peeking his head out and going, oh, shit, got to go back down.
Oh, my gosh.
No, I think I tweeted 72 laps in or something that I was really impressed with the broadcast this year compared to last year. I called last year a national embarrassment, I think, on this show. Might have been a little bit different phrasing, but it was terrible. I felt bad for the people I recommended to watch the race to last year. That's how disgusting it ended up in terms of action missed and how many commercials there were. But I sent the tweet. It went 4-minute commercial, like 4 green flag laps, and then 4-minute commercial again. And it was kind of a cyclical thing. I kept getting replies like, it's been ass since you sent this. Sorry, guys, hand up. Like, I have way too much power jinxing every take I have. So,
and the only thing that I had a major problem with last year was that everybody all together saying that, but everybody all together like saying, man, the commercials were really bad. And it wasn't like I go on Twitter and I was like, oh, everybody's saying the commercials are really bad. Yeah, you're right. Me in my head was like, oh my goodness, the commercials are really bad. And then I'm like on Twitter and see that everybody else is complaining about it too. And then you have people in the industry going, nope, it was just like always. I struggle that if, everybody suddenly was like, wow, this is really bad. I have a hard time just believing that it was just the same as always. So, but it definitely did seem better this year. And their broadcasts, I feel like the commentators, those three, really seem to mesh together. So hopefully it's a better year.
I agree. Josh, what was your biggest takeaway we haven't talked about yet?
The rivalry we didn't think we needed between SVG and Jed Burton.
Yeah, I'm talking about the 500, man.
He doesn't know. He's had his head fucking down the entire time.
I thought you were
I also was watching the race while at work, so like I didn't have sound for most of it, so I didn't know how the broadcast was exactly.
Yeah, that's completely fair. There was some things I hope they improve on, but it'll come in time.
Yeah, I was impressed. I was impressed with the racing as itself and what I saw, but
I said, will it? I don't know. At this point, I don't know if I'm not going to give Fox the benefit of the doubt that it'll come.
Yeah, I mean, that's just my don't want to completely shit on those guys, and I honestly think they try to improve every week, so that's where that comes from. Feel free to disagree.
I will give them that they seem to have improved from last year to this year.
Why are you raising your hand? We're on a podcast, Josh.
I'm aware. I just thought of something though. Pre-race, they announced Larson as the 2022 NASCAR champion instead of 2021.
Yeah, there was a couple. They said Ross Chastain won at Phoenix last year, and that was with they said he had the Hail Millen at Phoenix last season, and they met Martinsville the year before.
They fucked up before the
That's
race
fine.
even started. So
People make mistakes. If we harped on every mistake I made, we wouldn't be in this business at all. So we already make too many.
You're in the back burner of this.
Listen,
right.
ever.
I like their chemistry today, though. I thought they were okay.
My favorite ever still is the YouTube video that's like a 10-minute compilation of Marty Reed mess ups. And
jeez, dude.
They're so bad.
I'll shit on like one dude and like feel really bad about it for 3 weeks. And Caleb will come on here and just throw 6 guys under the bus back to back to back and just like wake up the next day with the Joker face. Like, let's
okay, but have you ever watched that video?
I haven't. I try not to seek. It's not fun for me, like watching people completely screw up. Like,
no, it's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
It's hilarious. So they play
Makes me
super
feel better
sad
about
music
myself.
and they play it off like he died. Like they're going through this whole thing, and they're like, on October 18th, whatever year, the world lost a great. Marty Reed was fired by ESPN after this finish, and like, but it's a 10-minute video about all of his mistakes and mess up. Like it's just great. You gotta go watch it if you haven't.
I will watch it with you guys. Definitely not sober. That will be how I choose to enjoy it.
Oh, jeez.
I'll wait for that moment. Hawkeye Downs this year at some point. Let's do it. Shoot, what was I going to talk about? The final caution. Ross Chastain did not find out until after the race that he completely cleared the crap out of Austin Cindric.
Yeah, I hate when I change lanes and completely doors.
Yeah, there's
no idea.
So I did have a gripe with Kevin Harvick. I believe it was Kevin. If it wasn't, please correct me in the comments because I don't want to attribute it to the wrong person. But someone from the broadcast booth, upon replay, said Ross Chastain made the correct move. Cutting down from the high lane of the two that are running side by side, and the back of his car was behind the number on the car, on Austin Cindric's car, that he was cutting down onto, spinning him into the grass and taking out more cars. And that was supposedly the right move. And I just don't understand how you say that.
I would love to hear the spotter information on that.
Now, if he just goes, well, he's the Busch Light driver, I'm biased towards him. That's fine. I completely get it. That's funny, even if you made a joke about it and wanted to say that, but that was very clearly the wrong move. If you hate that they didn't finish under green, blame the number 1 car. That's it. He was.
I thought Cindric was going to be the one that dumped the field, anyways, for how all over like sideways he was.
Yeah, it's just some of these. And it's newer drivers, and I don't want to do the like old brigade to the young guys and stuff. And I'll talk about the pay for play issue I have with trucks and ARCA on a later show. I don't want to get into it now, but they're just too wild sometimes at the wrong times, and they got to learn. And when they're not learning in the younger ranks because the races are too much of a shit show to learn anything, then they get up here and they don't know how to drive, and then everyone's like, well, this guy sucks. This dude's an ass. I mean, we say that about Chastain all the time. A little tongue-in-cheek there. But
you say that about Chastain all the time.
That's why I threw in the tongue-in-cheek, buddy. But it's like, you got to learn at some point, and that was definitely not the right move to make. Just ended the race for everybody. So I thought that sucked.
I will say, at this time, it's like Byron is not in through tech yet, so
you got to be the guy.
I'm just saying
they're really tearing that car down.
Do we have a Tech Shed Ricky situation on our hands?
I mean, they were still like 30 minutes ago. They were like still working on it, but I mean, it's hard to say.
They were working on Bowman's 30 minutes ago still.
Yeah, I'm not worried until they change it. And if they change it after we're done, I'll record another show after this and stick the link right in the description. So check the description. If there's nothing there, then William Byron won the race. So but no, I thought solid way to kick off the year. I think that's all I had for Cup. What about you guys? Hendrick gets a 40th anniversary win to kick off the year. What do you guys think of the paint schemes coming out about that later?
They're red.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't like them that much, but that's just me. It's
Same
hard to-
thing, but red.
Yeah, it's hard to- you haven't seen those?
I might have seen the 24. I don't recall.
They're just all red. That's
They're
all
like
it is.
They're like candy apple red or ruby red.
Yeah, it's the same schemes, but red.
It's just an awkward color of red. It's really hard to screw up the color red. I've seen it done many a times. I like ours in the logo. Looks very nice. I like the ones in the Karl Auto Group logo too. Kick-ass stuff. All right, you guys good to go?
I would say so. Here you go, Caleb. I don't know if you can see.
What a great the Spotify logo is reflecting off the.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, but
Mm.
we'll look her up.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning into this. Really appreciate it. Hope you all had fun watching a fantastic sports day. We'll be back for you later this week. I'll tweet out when that will be for sure. Not 100% sure. You guys want to do one tomorrow too? Or should we wait and see what happens on Tuesday and do it Wednesday night?
Yeah, let's just see what goes on.
Yeah.
All right. If there's something to talk about, we'll do another. But if not, look for it Thursday morning or late Wednesday night if you're staying up that late. So thanks again for tuning in. Thanks to the Karl Auto Group. And thank you guys for following along with us. We really appreciate it.